Yo ho ho! What's going on, guys? This is Grim Reaper bringing you guys another session of the One Punch Man podcast. I have some of the greats here with me today. Today we're going to be covering chapter 97, a spectacle in the story of One Punch Man. We elaborated more on one of the primary S-rank characters. It was a really exciting chapter. We took to all the social medias to see what you guys were thinking about, what you guys said about this chapter. But let's start off with these guys. What's going on, Hero Association?
Hey, yo, what it do?
Hello.
Greetings.
What up?
Grimm is trash.
What'd you guys think of chapter 97? What were your ratings, man?
Dude, had a really good time with this one. I've been waiting for this because, like, the other chapters, they're fun and whatnot, but they're not really getting into the meat of the storylines that have been built up. And this chapter did exactly that. It was like 3 storylines converging in this one chapter. And I gotta say, damn, it was just so satisfying. I can't wait for the next one.
I thought it was pure fun getting to see so many gadgets from Child Emperor all at once.
I was more or less surprised how confident Child Emperor really was, and how he kind of sees himself positioned in S-Class. Because that's probably very important too. Because you got to think that there's some heroes that kind of take it upon themselves to move around and kind of have things work out in their favor.
That was all right. I'm kind of a meathead when it comes to One Punch Man, so we really didn't get into any important fights. I mean, we're going to set up, but it seems like that's what we're doing for most of these hero fights, that we're going to have like 2 chapters dedicated to it. So the next chapter should be crazy, but this chapter, I just thought it was all right.
I thought the chapter was pretty good. I mean, it was just a different pace more than anything. We've gone from literally like the light speeds of like Flashy Flash down to just the slow pace of Child Emperor. But it was interesting seeing how he works and how he fights and like all the different gadgets he's got, especially the whole, I suppose, like a lot of people focus on the child side of him, but then we got to see a bit more of the Emperor side, like the strategist, and it's a different style of fighting in comparison to what we normally get in One Punch Man. So it's got me pretty excited for the next chapter as well.
Yeah, I thought the chapter was pretty decent. Child Emperor, he impressed me for the most part, but now we get to see exactly what he's made of. And I just thought Phoenix Man was a bit trash, to be fair. But,
Hey, yo.
Damn, bro.
but we'll continue with that later on.
We're going to do it now.
Rise from the ashes, Phoenix Man!
Spoilers.
Yeah, I didn't necessarily think this chapter was like 10 out of 10, but I definitely enjoyed the aspect like Kishin mentioned, that every other like panel was basically a new piece of tech that Child Emperor was using. Whether it was like the autonomous Octobot that he had that like protected him from behind, or like whether it's like the invisible wall he pulled up. I really enjoyed seeing different type of technology, because as far as I know, I think we have like 7 to 8 different like robots or guys that make robots or guys that use crazy ass tech in the series. Not to mention like the various robotic villains that we've seen from time to time in the series. So it's always cool to see new shit. That being said, though, there was a few pivotal things that happened in this chapter, and there's a few things that we should focus on in terms of developing the story. Some of the guys have pointed that kind of stuff out, but we're gonna take it slow. G4 and G5. G5 is a current robotic samurai looking. I believe he's a demon level threat.
Yes.
Something like that.
Yeah.
I think that was the intro that we got with her song. Haven't really seen him go all out before, whatsoever. Neither have we seen from Child Emperor. We got to be serious when we discuss. We know the shonen tropes. We know what the shonen tropes are. Somebody, is faced with a huge ass enemy sometimes. They haven't really shown their power. They use that enemy to show what they're about. One Punch Man is known for, what's the term? Surpassing, or like
Subverting.
subverting. Yes, what it is. Subverting tropes often. That's mostly what they do. So, can we expect a stereotypical ending for this fight, or?
No, not at all.
I don't want to see a small child whooped by a robot.
I kind of do.
Yeah, I mean,
no way this is no way this is like a trope ending. There's going to be a curveball for sure, but please go ahead, Sundownrider. I want to hear what you have to say.
Yeah, I mean, I made mention in my review about possible child abuse incoming, and obviously, obviously, let's not make a joke of that. Serious things. I'm not going to prison.
You are now.
But yeah, I think if anything, he'll get a really difficult fight. I still think he might come out on top, but I think he'll get a really difficult fight, and he'll have to push himself quite far.
I don't want to sound weird, but I don't see Child Emperor as like a kid.
Neither do
He
I.
strikes me as like the most mature character in the series.
Yeah.
Definitely. Yeah.
I would agree. Only because, like, you know, in a world full with adults that really don't take themselves seriously, he's probably the only one who really like wants to be an adult, wants to be like mature. But I do still want to see some child abuse because I was a child at one point and I've been abused, so I want to see some abuse.
Oh, man.
Zarsa, break the chain, man.
Wow.
Break the
Yeah,
chain.
bro.
What's this podcast?
Yeah,
again?
bro. Come on, PG, please.
But
We just walked into a child. What is this?
But in all seriousness, let's be honest now. When it comes to these little shonen tropes, or at least like, you know, when we have series, when it comes to like, you know, kids fighting monsters and, you know, getting beat up and everything. Like, we've seen Naruto get beat up. He was like, what, 12, 13, getting stabbed and stuff? Like, let's be honest now. We've seen child abuse. But I would like to see how Child Emperor would handle himself. That lightsaber in this chapter kind of went hard. And I kind of want to see if his swordsmanship, you know, can stand up to this gigantic metal man. That'd be pretty cool to watch.
Yo,
To be
you didn't
fair,
even
with
have to go
Naruto-
to Naruto, bro. You could have just went straight to DBZ because toddler Gohan gets his ass beat.
Oh yeah, just laid out for display too, and plus like it's Frieza, so it's like a weird transvestite alien with like a really high pitched voice and like no genitals beating you up. It's really weird.
No genitals. That's not confirmed. We don't know that.
Oh, fair
I
enough.
thought we were going to go the Mr. Piccolo route. Mr. Piccolo, why are you hitting me? Because I told you to dodge!
Oh.
Your dad's dead.
Yeah,
Matt,
to be fair, Naruto was getting his ass beat by other 12-year-olds. That was all right. But Gohan, yeah, I think that's definitely going to require some sort of professional.
That was all right. It was the early 90s. It was okay then.
Exactly, it was always okay, and now it's like, we can't hit them. They're too soft. Why are they soft for? Who made them soft?
I mean, only 90s kids remember child abuse.
Yeah.
Okay, so one other thing that I wanted to point out is, let's compare G4 and G5. What did you guys think of the two designs?
Well, for one thing, G4's like his true form inside all the extra armor. I don't know if anyone was a fan of Metabots back in the early 2000s, but there was
hell
like
yeah.
an octopus one.
Yep.
He looks almost exactly like that.
Dude, Metaboss was so dope.
Oh yeah.
Well, either way, like, when G4 fought, Genos, like, fucked his shit off the bat. Like, he broke his blade that was, like, he was, like, so proud of and shit, and then just, like, it was definitely a, I believe he was also a Tiger rank, too. Or a D, I'm not sure. But,
G4?
yeah.
Yeah, he's a certified demon.
I like how he had King sweating like really profusely and ugly like that. Like that was funny because like whenever King gets stressed, I think that's like the best I see of King. Like because you know like true fear like you're sweating bullets, like you get really musty looking. Like that's pure gold right there. That's true fear.
So you're getting dark in this one.
Yeah. No.
Maybe I am.
Did anybody else have thoughts on the design of the two?
Yeah, almost every single robot that we have seen from the organization has one thing in common, and that is one eye. G5 has one eye, G4 has one eye, and that cool looking Metal Gear Solid looking dude from like episode 4 or 5, the guy that gives the suit to Hammerhead. You see like the one guy, and then you see the other one that's like a brain robot with like these
The
like,
little tiny legs.
no, the tiny leg arms. He has two eyes, but he's the only one. every other robot in the organization has one eye. So that's, I think, on purpose.
Maybe they all view a single goal, so they're like narrow-sighted on that one thing. I don't know.
like that.
And how many eyes does Drive Knight have?
Take a guess.
One eye, boys. But
Ooh,
the
the plot
key thing is
thickens.
also that G4's true form was it 2 eyes? I think it was 2 eyes, wasn't it?
Yeah, 2 eyes.
Yeah, so it was only his exterior which had the 1 eye. But maybe G5 has like a true form as well, like an inside part, something like that.
He's definitely not as bulky, so it'll be interesting to know if he does.
I'm just wondering if we're gonna have like another like true form for G5 since we had that with G4. Like I wouldn't want it to be like the same thing where we have like a small miniature robot, but I definitely think we're gonna have like a different transformation for G5 in the next chapter.
Oh, like he gets into a Megazord or some shit. Like when he's down,
Yeah.
he's just like,
Oh,
Yeah,
we go
something
the opposite direction.
I fuck
Like,
with that.
make my monster grow.
So he's just gonna
That-
bust up the Monster Association when he gets into his Orochi-sized robot.
That would be
Wait,
awesome.
the mechanical structure inside the Monster Association.
Uh,
What if he uses nanobots to break it down into the body?
Oh,
You're
like
crossing
actually,
the Drive Knight territory, though.
oh wow, that's creative as fuck. Huh. Well, that would already have to. That does go with the theme of like the monsters being more prepared than the heroes. So that maybe. Huh.
Maybe.
Dude, they're outrageously prepared. They've been like studying for weeks somehow. I think they've only been together for like a month.
Can we collect any information that we have on the organization? Like, what is the story plot of the organization as far as we know right now in its entirety?
They need a new name.
Yes, that is first and foremost. But I'll try to lay it out as quickly as possible. So all we know is that their name is the organization. They are the organization. And that they so far have consisted of robots, and we've seen about 4 of them so far. We got G5, G4, and those 2 robots that we were talking about earlier. So they've also given these like special combat suits to the Paradisers, all of those neo-Nazi dudes from early in the series. They've given it to them for test purposes. And then we see this happen again with Narinki's private squad, that squad that was sent to go rescue his son before the S-Class even took it upon themselves to do it. And then they are captured by G5. So those suits came from the organization as well. Other than that, we don't know a damn thing about them. This is one of the least touched on storylines in the series so far.
The only common thing I can see with them is they've got a kind of obsession with strength, because obviously they've had the history of the Paradises and testing battle strength. The next time we get any kind of if we see them next is when they're testing King, because they want to see how strong the strongest man in the world is. And once again, and it's with Child Emperor as well, like he's not like he hasn't gone straight for him, G5. It's like he's just stopped any attack he's got so far, and he's waiting to see what he can do next. It's a constant test of strength.
Yeah, so like, why are they compiling all of this data?
Seems like they're that, like that whole private contracting company that it seems as though people from the Hero Association will use in order to get certain things like I said before, when they tried getting that one dude's kid back from the Monster Association. He had those suits given to him by said organization to those to that group of individuals. Were they like bounty hunters or something, or they're just like trained operatives, and they're just given those powered up suits, right?
Yeah, for the most part.
Yeah. I would say, if anything, it feels like this organization is trying to build itself up to a mainstream status. It really does feel like, because they're constantly challenging the most mainstream organization, which is the Hero Association. It feels like they're trying to grow their prominence. If that means testing out some of the heroes that are there, maybe knocking some of them down, which would also do pretty well too. That's what it seems like they're doing, at least.
Okay, you know how like in a story, at a certain part you'll get main plot elements. It's like you mentioned that we don't have that much information about the organization up to this point, but we know that Genos is most likely searching for somebody that's a part of this group. It's most likely the robot that did all the stuff to him. So the next point of speculation that I have is, should the next climax be the organization instead of like Boros?
Should it be? Sure. Will it be? No.
Maybe? I mean, no. Everyone is a villain.
There's a real small chance that the manga can go into the organization after this arc, but I just think there's a really small chance of that. You know what? It's even possible that it somehow gets mostly wrapped up in this arc. I'm saying like 80% of the organization storyline might get wrapped up in this arc, depending on how things play out in the next chapter.
Yeah, I think it's going to be one of those ones where it's either during this arc where we're going to kind of figure out everything, or it's going to stay around for a long while, and it's just going to be little hints all the way through until like eventually Genos gets enough information to actually go and find out exactly who the organization are and kind of get revenge for what went down with him.
Yeah, I wouldn't be surprised if it is more like the long run with the organization, because that's Genos' character arc. Well, that's like his goal, is to find this robot that killed him and basically ruined his life, and get revenge and take it down. So if the organization is involved with this, we know obviously Kusuno made the robot, but we don't know if Kusuno's got contacts, well, he's got history with the organization, which wouldn't be surprising. It's just a question of, like, I don't know what I'm going to say.
No, I definitely...
No, you're right.
Oh, yeah, like...
Was Akatsuki teased for the most part before they became the central focus of the story?
I don't
Yes,
think so.
kind of. It was more like... It was only briefly. It was when Itachi and Kisame showed up at the village, and then they just didn't show up for a large part of the story until Shippuden started, really.
Oh, I thought that was the starting point you meant. Okay.
I'm thinking that the organization might have like a similar play out as Akatsuki. Like we see the two guys, just like Kisame
Good Lord,
and Itachi.
it's unfolding exactly the same way. Two guys. It was two guys. It's like, and then it'll be 300 chapters, and then we might see more guys.
That might be the case, but I want to see like more like actual like live individuals that are actually like a part of the organization, not just like creations from the organization. Because don't get me wrong, like G4 and G5, they're cool and everything, but they're just like products of the organization. They themselves have no real purpose outside of their own programming. I want to see members of the organization and see like what they're really about.
What if the organization is just a single machine that's producing them all?
Crazy.
Yeah, so I was about to say, what if, for instance, let's just say Kuseno made a robot or something that went rogue and decided it was going to create other robots.
You're close. You're close, Sundownrider. You're close. No,
oh my goodness.
That makes it sound like this is all confirmed. Let me just establish that none of this is confirmed. Not even the webcomic do we know a goddamn thing about the organization. But you are very close to what the truth is perceived to be. I'll just say that.
I'm not going to continue going down that route then. No spoilers here, boys.
All right. So then let's move on from that, because that's going to head into spoilers, and like you just pointed out. Child Emperor versus Drive Knight. Excuse me, Child Emperor versus Metal Knight.
Why'd you say Drive Knight?
Because we were talking about the organization and
no.
He might have connections, and it might have been in his mind.
No. Who do you prefer? Like, who's cooler to you? Who's like who do you relate to more? Like, what's going on?
I don't want to sound like a pedophile, but I would say Child Emperor only because like he's actually like like someone I can imagine talking to a really smart kid. I can't imagine talking to an asshole of an old man.
What was the other choice?
Metal Knight.
Yeah. Child Emperor.
Oh.
Like that old guy is crotchety and to no youngsters or nobody.
To me, it's just a tech, man. Like, I'm not gonna say I necessarily like Metal over Child because I haven't made my mind up yet, but his tech is definitely cooler.
His tech looks cooler, but let's be honest now. This guy gets bought. Like, this guy puts like almost no work into anything. Like the meteor, nothing done. The aliens, nothing done. He re-engineered some of the metal from the alien wreckage. Fair enough. Don't get me wrong. He's very important, very impressive. But like he doesn't really like every time he appears, he almost gets nothing done. Save for like the time where he like reconstructed A City, which was pretty impressive when I think about it.
Do we actually know the reason for why Metal Knight didn't want to get involved this time? I've forgotten if we were told.
I think it's because he came face to face with Orochi and he was like, we're not going up against him. We can't beat him. That was his whole attitude on it.
Wow.
Fair enough, yeah. Because I was going to say, like, this is kind of where we see the difference between an intelligent adult and even though Child Emperor is supposed to be mature, as soon as he saw the wreckage and the state of Metal Knight's kind of his robot, his remote-controlled robot, he shit himself straight away. He just saw it and he was like, oh my god, like this Orochi guy must be crazy. So
that's one of my favorite parts.
Yeah, so even though he's meant to be mature and very kind of loyal to the Hero Association, you even have him questioning in this chapter that, you know, I'm doing the same thing as Phoenix Man in the sense that I've just joined an organization where I'm another number and not so much an individual who should be forging my own path.
Yeah, but the only difference, smart enough to realize that there are people who are actually still better than him. Phoenix Man actually had the idea that, hey, I'm gonna be able, like, I'll take Orochi's spot, and it's like he just got bodied by like Child Emperor, and it's like you're Phoenix Man, come on.
Satsuki, Matt, what do you guys think of this subject?
So the original question was who was more relatable or who do we like more?
Either.
Well, I guess I like Child Emperor more, just because he's like unselfish. But if we're talking about who's more relatable, I guess Metal Knight, because if I was in the world of One Punch Man, I would probably be really selfish, just like him, just like doing my own thing. And if I seen Orochi, I would have bailed too. I would have been gone.
It's like I'm self-destructing the robot. He's not getting my tech.
Oh shit!
Yeah, I would have bounced. So, yeah, Metal Knight more relatable, but you know, I just like Child Emperor more because you know he's actually about the Hero Association. He actually did you know, find a kid first, so which I didn't expect them to find him already. So, yeah.
Yeah, I'm probably the same with Child Emperor. I think just coming from like what they can do and like the robots they make, the tech they make, like Metal Knights is cool, obviously just like giant robots with missiles and guns and everything like that. But I like how creative Child Emperor's like tech is. Like he's got like, oh, here's a recorder that's also a lightsaber, you know. Here's a frog that's also a gas mask. Like all these little creative things, and he's also got like heavier artillery. I don't know if anyone's read the threat level. Not the threat level, like the power level chapter they tried to do, where basically, the Fubuki group fought that. Yeah, it's a great chapter where the Fubuki group fought the Saitama group at video games, and at the same time, Child Emperor's got like he's made like a power level mask, and it's only briefly, but he does have like these massive spider legs come out of his bag, so he's got something more to it as well, which kind of like I'm not too worried about the G5 fight, but yeah, overall I think Child Emperor's just and his attitude as well. Child Emperor's a bit better.
Who else thinks that backpack has nanotechnology in it?
It's gotta be.
I hope it does. I really hope it does.
Because, I mean, how else does all that shit fit in there? And
I mean,
it's kind of whatever he wants to come out. So because this chapter really made me start thinking that.
Dude, honestly, it kind of bothered me. Then I was like, you know what? Just suspend my disbelief and just go with it.
I know what you mean. It kind of bothered me too a little bit. It was like when you can solve every issue with like just whatever you have in a backpack, it's kind of stupid. But I'm not sure he's gonna go with that route. I will say I don't like the whole like multiple like appendages with like different heads. I've always found it to be corny and shit. Like the whole Inspector Gadget look like it's it's corny to me, my personal opinion. But the other separate shit that he was pulling out, like the octa-fucking like drone that he had, and then the fucking invisible wall, and he has a fucking lightsaber thing, like that's badass. If we could limit what the backpack does to like certain concepts, then I could really get into Child Emperor being a superior cast member because he's number 3, isn't he? Right or 5?
Number 5.
Number 5. That's crazy. That's fucking crazy.
Personally,
if the hero game doesn't work out, he'd be great as the spy gadget master.
oh yeah, not even that. Heck, not even that. Making toys. Hell, if anything, he'd probably make his own organization based around all the technology that he makes. He could really just stop being a
another
hero.
Organization.
Exactly, another one.
This is the real organization.
The real organization. Yeah.
Did you notice whenever he was talking or Sundown, were you gonna say something?
Oh no, I was gonna say I kind of liked how he had a recorder as a lightsaber, but then also he had, I think that maybe that same recorder he uses kind of a missile homing system for those little kind of EMP emitter things.
Oh yeah.
Oh yeah,
Yeah, I
the
thought
little,
that's
like electronet,
Oh,
or not
yeah.
net, but like cage kind of wire thing.
Yeah, and that scene straight up reminded me of there's a character in Naruto who had like this a flute thing, and it made you see like an illusion or something like that.
Yeah.
One of the sound
Sound
3, sound 4.
Yeah, she was one of Orochimaru's chicks.
Yeah.
Yeah, and I thought I just got like some big time vibes from her. I was like, yo, it's the same chick.
He did pull his shit out like right while the fucking Phoenix was talking to him and shit, monologuing. That was badass.
Yeah, but she got crushed by a tree, so she's not back. But like, I do see the nostalgia. I do respect the nostalgia.
Did you guys also notice as he was about to approach to eat the candy, like we got to see a pattern of like his thoughts and his thought pattern shit. And did you guys find that to be like, how do I put this? I don't want to alienate anybody when I say this. Like, please take this like as prospectively as possible. Did you find the monologue relatable, or was it like alien to you, like the way that he was thinking?
It's definitely something that, as you grow up, you're supposed to kind of have that mindset. You know, you're supposed to be more adult as you age. After a certain point, you are no longer a child, and he's kind of taken that to the extreme in some ways.
Yeah,
because he still has the body of a child. Which has it ever been confirmed that he's actually a child, or is that he's just slowly aging?
He's a confirmed child.
Yeah, it's been a
Yeah.
while.
Okay. So he's just genius child. Okay, that true.
I was about to say. I remember he was complaining to Sid, just like, "Oh yeah, I have after school like stuff to do at school." And I think it was Sitch saying something like, "Well, Child Emperor, if you're as smart as you say you are, you would be saying some dumb shit like that." And he kind of got tight.
He tutors classes.
I didn't know that. I thought he was actually like going to school saying some dumb shit like, "Oh yeah, I got like I have a school program stuff to do." I was like, "Man, get out of here with your not smart ass." But apparently he's that smart.
Did anyone get the feeling that, or should I say, feel like Child Emperor's character in this chapter was kind of like L from Death Note?
No,
that face that he gives when he starts licking the lolly.
Could you elaborate?
Yeah, they're both like their mind when they're thinking. It's like scattered thoughts, but they're both super intellectual and super deductive in their things. But they also keep spiking their insulin by eating candy, so it keeps them mentally sharp.
Yeah, that's what he
just
did.
His face, just his face, like he has that whole neuroticism when he was just as he came out of the room after he saw Metal Knight's armor.
He had the
It
what?
just has that same kind of sleep deprived face. I was like, yo, I can see where you're coming from.
You say eroticism?
Neuroticism.
Okay. I was like,
leave it at Grimm.
I was like, erotic.
He got so turned on when he saw that.
We're talking about the child getting abused, and now you're talking about child eroticism. Come on.
Wow.
I actually had to reread some of the dialogue from like pages like 7 and 8 because when he pulled out the candy, I almost thought, wait, is this like the theory about Rick from Rick and Morty? How what he's drinking all the time is actually like a brain booster, and maybe that's what the lollipops are.
It did calm him down. If you notice the dog, that's literally what it did. Like when he ate the candy, all his rushing thoughts, like that's what it seemed to me like. It was we were seeing his thought patterns, but they were so sporadic, like Zhoniin pointed out. they were addressing so many different factors that we were impressed by it. But at the same time, once he ate the candy, we saw that it all went away. Coincidentally, that's also when the Phoenix showed up. But I think that was like done on purpose. If you get what I'm saying, like the candy definitely has an effect on Child Emperor. That's what I believe.
I kind of saw the candy as like a cigarette kind of thing for him. Like he's that stressed about everything that's going on. He just needs something to like take the edge off it. So when obviously Phoenix Man kept making all the comments about him being a child, that's why he was chomping down on the lollipop then, just because of like he had enough.
I definitely
I feel the exact same way. Yeah.
I was gonna comment on Zone, like, so I was gonna say I see what you mean by saying like through the similarity between him and Light, but I would say if anything, I kind of like the only difference that I see between the two is that he's not as self-centered, because like he really does think about everything and everyone else. Like he's a genuine kid at the end of the day. He's like his thought process, like his inner monologue, it's very innocent. Like he's doing all of this with no ulterior motive, because when you think about it, a lot of the other heroes have their own motives for why they're a hero. Save for like the fact that some of them just really want to be a hero. Like some of them say, like, oh yeah, but in reality, I'm only here to do this, or I'm only here to do that. Like Tatsuma, she's a hero, but all she does is really just beat the crap out of monsters because it gives her a rush. But like even though he goes through like all these processes and has like this deep inner thought, these deep inner thoughts, for the most part, he's genuinely just trying to do his job. And then when Phoenix Man comes in and says, "Oh, we're both individuals that work for organization," again, like it comes out he is very mature, because he himself already understands that there are people stronger and better than him. But Phoenix Man literally thinks that he can take down Orochi. But the thing is, you don't see Child Emperor ever like get too cocky about himself. And I remember that about Light too. Light would always L. Oh shit, you meant L. Because I was about to say that was because I was gonna go on a completely different tangent, because I remember Light was some dumb shit. L on the other hand, he's just L. Yeah, L was definitely fucking weird. Just sleep deprived 24/7, not wearing shoes. This is different comparison. My bad.
Well, usually I don't like it when you have child characters who have like this super high intellect, but with Child Emperor, that's literally like his thing. That's how he became an S-class hero. But I really like Child Emperor because you have the whole brains thing. But when he was fighting, what's his name? Phoenix Man, right?
Mm-hmm.
When he fought Phoenix Man, like after he beat him, like you see him like smirking and shit. That kind of threw me off a little bit. I'm like, for the most part, he seemed like an innocent kid, but like after he beat him, he was like, yeah, I'm with the shits. And I was like, oh, all right. But with the whole candy calming him down, I don't know if it's necessarily the candy that got him in that right mindset, or if it was just him actually saying, I need to calm down. And then of course that's when Phoenix Man showed up. But yeah, that's pretty much all I got to say.
Could you elaborate on when you said you don't like the whole high intellect trope?
Yeah, sometimes in anime you have kid characters who are way too mature for their age, and it's really weird. But with Child Emperor, that's literally how he's supposed to be. Like I can't really give you a good example right now, but it was something I watched recently. It's called Ray Ride D. And there was like a kid who was like having a casual conversation about time travel with this adult, and then she was like only 8 years old. But normally I would have a problem with a character like that, but with Child Emperor, that's how he's supposed to be, so it's cool.
I was just gonna say, I think the smirk that Child Emperor had after he defeated Phoenix Man wasn't so much because he defeated Phoenix Man, as when Phoenix Man said that comment about them both working for an organization. Mm-hmm. And I think it was Child Emperor kind of realizing that he's kind of in that same flow, and I think it was more to do with that rather than actually defeating Phoenix Man.
You're both correct though, because he does smirk for that reason, but also going back to Satsuki's point, he did say before he killed him that he was going to let him live. Then he was like, "Nah, you pissed me off, so you're going to get a horrible death now."
Yeah. That's a good point. Yeah.
So I don't mean to go back to it, but these three main bots. We have Drive Knight, Metal Knight, and Child Emperor. We can include Genos in there too, so 4. Who has had the best single piece of tech in the series? Whose technology has impressed you the most? Like, if it's Genos, don't tell me like, you know, his entire outfit. Tell me like one attack that he did or something like that, or if it's, you know, something like that. Well, out of what we've seen, what's the best piece of tech that you don't remember?
Drive Knight.
Like, yeah, like there's no comparison. Look, like
My boy
went
came
crazy.
out with freaking centaur legs, man. Like, you can't beat that. The dude came out looking like he was in One Piece in like Wano or something. Man. He has that. What was it? A suitcase? That
Yeah,
he just carries around with him.
He just has like a rectangle.
Yeah,
Yes,
he carries
he has
it
a
around
My
with
rectangle
a
magic
bottle.
transforming box. Come and see, children, before I
Yeah.
kill the monster.
Yeah, and that was awesome. I mean, like the amount of transformations we saw when we actually saw him for the first time. The centaur legs looked awesome, and then he pulled out a couple weapons and stuff as well.
Yeah,
Yeah,
the
awesome
giant
sword.
laser sword.
His silver form.
Yes, the
I
laser
was-
sword for one. That was awesome.
Yeah, that because that thing literally just cut like butter. Like that was bad. He was interrogating mom. They were like, who do you think you are? And it's like, all right, so these two aren't really needed, and just kind of took them out. And it's like he just left one and was still gonna kill him in the first place.
That was the second
Like, he
lightsaber
did
in the
not
series,
care.
right? And now we have 2 lightsabers right in the series. Drive Knight
You might get more.
in this one.
But
You might
this
get more.
Drive Knight, the way that he works, this is like the only instance we see of something like this so far. Like all of the other mechanical users, they're kind of just standard. Like they had the robots, you see how it works. You know, like what we just saw in this chapter with Child Emperor and what we've seen with Metal Knight. But Drive Knight, he's kind of like pseudo nano technology because his parts come together like midair. It looks like almost magnetically kind of, but I'm sure it's much more than that. And there's no other character that really has that ability that we've seen so far. And it's just so damn interesting, but they're just keeping this guy under wraps so hard. And I'm hoping soon we get to see more because, like, you know, what they said, the horse legs, that was crazy. He also rips heads off of tiger monsters just barehanded. And then his silver mode, which he calls it, where he makes like that Cyberpunk 2077 lightsaber sword, which looks insane. Like that's a feat of power that we really haven't seen from anyone else outside of Child Emperor's recorder lightsaber, but that was like nothing compared to what we saw from Drive Knight.
Kishin, Matt, Satsuki, give me your individual answers. Or do you guys all agree with what Zhoniin said about this is Drive Knight?
No, I agree with Drive Knight.
I just want to see more of what that box can do.
Mhm.
Exactly.
It's been so long since that chapter came out.
It's been like almost 2 years, if not 2 years.
Damn.
I just want to know. I just want to know his technology from the first place. That'd be more or less like my first question because you have Genos with his doctor, you have Metal Knight making his own stuff, you have Child Emperor doing his own thing, but exactly where does Drive Knight get all this technology from, and exactly how smart is he? Because if he makes it on his own, that's already crazy. But normally when you have an android or a cyborg, they have someone who's kind of supplying them with the technology. So I want to know who's kind of behind that.
Yeah, the
That's
other
a
thing
million-dollar
is that
question.
we know that Genos he's a cyborg, right? And he's not
Mhm.
a complete robot. And did we ever see whether G4 was actually was he a complete robot or was he a cyborg?
He is a complete
Complete
robot.
robot, yeah.
Yes, and it's the same with G5, isn't it?
The
We
robot
assume he's
even
a
had a
complete-
robot.
Yeah, so then what I would question is Drive Knight a cyborg or is he a complete robot?
That's a very good question.
Oh,
I think that's going to be key.
I think I believe he made himself out to seem like a cyborg because he actually went and talked with Genos. I think it was like Metal Knight is your enemy. Don't trust Metal Knight, and kind of walked off. I don't now. Obviously, this could just be conjecture, obviously, because no one really knows. But it's like he does show some, or at least he does act somewhat human, because these robots normally kind of like have own self-interest. If he was a straight-up robot with programming, he probably wouldn't even like give Genos like that little piece of advice. So he does have a bit of his own
humanity.
Yes, humanity, or at least like self-awareness, his own self-awareness and his own goals.
He also has hair.
That too.
Well, we've seen some weird shit in this series. It could be synthetic.
No, he has some
we don't
know hair from 2006.
We don't see it grow, and it's always exactly
you don't know.
the same.
It could be growing.
Yeah, I mean, Genos has wigs, right?
Yeah, I mean, I guess it has to be a wig at this point. I mean, his scalp's been blown off like 7 times. So
this is true.
We also saw that in the chapter when Child Emperor, before he met up with the Phoenix Man, he encountered Metalbat's disabled drone. Now, when we first encountered it, it was on a table, on a display table, and it had a lot of its parts like separately organized.
You said Metalbat.
Oh, Metalbat.
That's the wrong. Metalbat ain't that smart to have a robot.
No, yeah,
that's the twist.
No, they had Metalbat down there.
I know Metalbat did fun.
You know what I meant, Metal Knight. So they had his drone down there. They took it apart. So the thing that we were insinuating, and that Child Emperor insinuated, is that for it to be displayed like this, somebody must have been trying to like gather information from it and data. He himself has the ability to gather information from the robot, but only a certain type or certain amount, or he only wanted a certain information. And he gathered what was it that he gathered? Like previous location, or what was it that he gathered?
Yeah, the kid Waganma's location.
That's what it was. Yeah, Waganma's location from there. We were speculating. Did the monsters gain any information from Metalbat? Excuse me, Metal Knight.
G5.
Yeah, he's the only one who did, but what information he got from Metal Knight, I really don't know exactly what he could really get that'd be beneficial.
Well, you'd assume the organization seems to be quite keen on creating robots, and Metal Knight seems to have kind of the whole thing down in terms of making these robots. So maybe just stealing a lot of his technologies and like possibly some of his weapons technologies, something like that.
They just need to find his manufacturing wing and be like, okay, we found the honey home.
I was thinking the Monster Association, not the organization. But,
Well, I thought it was, we were, in terms of location, we were somewhere near G5's wing, because that's kind of, he turns around the corner going like somewhere near that room. Maybe he heard the noise or something. He heard, well, actually that was towards the prison, wasn't it?
Yeah.
But I think G5 was the last individual we saw with possession of Metal Knight's head.
Yes.
Yeah.
So he's the only person I assume would be investigating, but it could be the Monster Association as well.
Well, I mean, shit.
It has to be him for sure. I mean, there's like a small chance it's someone else, but there has been no established robotic experts in the Monster Association.
Save for G5.
The closest character it would be like Phoenix Man, since he's intelligent. But other than that, like G5 is the only guy so far, and he did pick up Metal Knight's robot's head a couple chapters back, so it is for sure him dissecting it. And we could assume that he even made the Dr. Giraud laboratory too.
Okay. So then, should we expect like Metal Knight type gear on G5, or like should it just be information for the future, or like should a future model G6 or something like that have Metal Knight anti capability, something like that, or what should we honestly and reasonably expect from that?
I would say
from this storyline,
from the possibility of the Monster Association or the organization having info on Metal Knight.
stronger robots, definitely, because because I remember it was Child Emperor who said that they were that someone had tried to reverse engineer Metal Knight's destroyed body, and that some of the parts were actual, and there were some parts that were already there on hand that were either destroyed and recreated or were already there in the first place. So someone was really actually trying to recreate his body, but failed at a certain point. So if they have some of the schematics, and they were somewhat able to reverse engineer his old body, then definitely expect like G6, 7, 8, and up to get insanely stronger in the future. Because I believe that's Genos's whole shtick. Whenever he beats a monster that's pretty powerful, he'll take its hide, or if it's a robot specifically, he'll take he'll take like whatever's left of the damaged body, bring it to Dr.
Because of his own reverse engineering.
Exactly. Actually, what's called like his new armor right now, created from the hide of Elder Centipede, right?
No, it's kind of just like a fan theory.
I believe you said it was. I have to go back. I don't want to.
I mean, in chapter 93, they never mention that it's made of Elder Centipede.
I mean, it looked significantly like it just because it was darkened, but I don't think it was ever mentioned that they took it from Elder Centipede.
Yeah, this whole thing came from when Murata was drawing that on stream. We were all saying how it resembled Elder Centipede in the chat, and he was like, "Yeah, that would be cool." And then that's where it kind of ended.
That'd be cool. Fucking asshole.
That's an excellent way to fucking power scale. Some shit like that, where you have, I think I've seen it done before. It's like you do with like a weapon, something like that. You give somebody the power, and then you have that individual have all kinds of feats with the power, and then the person who comes and defeats that person, or when that person loses the power, somebody else picks it up. They now have all the same feats that are capable. So it's kind of a cheap way to power scale, but it works effectively because it's not stereotypical, if you get what I'm saying.
Also, if Genos did have the hide of Elder Centipede on him, he would be one of the strongest heroes, easily.
Fuck out of here.
Be like,
there would be nothing that could stop him.
Make me new armor.
Yeah, it's a good point, because he'd basically have impenetrable defense, and then using that as like blunt force trauma, he'd be killing people for jokes.
Exactly.
It's like
it was penetrable.
His arm.
You could get it. It like the whole thing with Centipede, wasn't it that like he could just build another carapace if you did destroy the first one? That was so tough.
Yeah, but did you see what it took to even get to that point?
I mean, look, bro, I'll put it to you like this, and you're all gonna hate me for this. You know, don't dislike the video when I say this, but
I probably will.
I thought lesser of Bang and Bomb when they failed to fucking take out Centipede. Hey man,
what?
Hey man, I said it.
What?
I was like, y'all niggas together, bro.
Dislike and unsubscribe.
Oh, and I can only do it once. Only one.
He's a geriatric hater.
Dislike, unsubscribed.
Hey yo, Grimm.
Yeah.
Grimm, I'm with you. I'm with you on that.
Say that. Thank you.
Nope. How?
Man.
Nope. How?
Nothing but credibility, bro. It was
not happening.
I'm like,
not happening.
So you're both this strong, number 3 hero, and you have to team up to do this ultimate attack. And you can only do it once, and then the guy ate it. Come on now.
I'm sorry.
He's a high dragon, the size of a city.
Hey man.
High dragon.
If they took him down, that would just diminish it.
Exactly.
Shouldn't that say more the strength of Elder Centipede though? If it took S-Class and hit his brother at the same level of strength to hold him back, not how weak Bang and Bomb are, just how strong Elder Centipede is instead.
It definitely does, and it was primarily used to show that. But like on the other aspect, at least in the community's input with it, like how I like hear from the community like that, Bang is an accolade, bro. Or excuse me, is a juggernaut, man. Like you can't talk shit. You can't say anything about Bang. But in this one time where like not only did he fail to like kill his disciple who had already fucking fought a whole shit ton, fucking learned how to dodge bullets and shit, got his ass beat. Genos came in to put some work on him and shit, and then you and Bomb couldn't take him out. Okay, you're already making me.
Well,
think
they also
something.
had to get the A-class heroes out of there too.
And
Yeah.
hey, look, excuse me, we can say
Forget
everything
about
we
that
want,
as well.
bro. This is a number 3 hero. Like, if I'm expecting anything, I'm expecting it from you. So it's not like that I think badly of Bang. He's still amazing to me. It's just, don't tell me he's everything.
He is.
Was he about to unleash one more attack before he like
Before
was
Saitama
trying
showed.
Back spasm.
Yeah, exactly.
before-
Yeah.
before
No, he
Saitama showed
was.
up? I thought.
He definitely was. And then King was like, "Nah, bro, I got this."
Yeah. So like, we still didn't get to see that one final attack. So I'm still convinced that maybe he could have pulled out something, but
And remember, that's Garo's master, the same guy who faced off against Rover, and remember he's the one who trained Garo, and Garo's more or less getting stronger because of the teachings of Bang. So I can only imagine what Bang would have done to Elder Centipede if he put the hands on him.
Well, no,
Like,
no,
do you really want to see Bang put the hands on somebody, like for real, for real?
well, no matter how you look at it, like, it's exactly how we put it before. Like, even if you take your perspective, the trope is still amazing. Now, if Genos really were to have armor made of Elder Centipede's, like, carapace, we've just proven that it's indomitable. Like, you're gonna have to tighten up around Genos for real. But like Zhoniin pointed out, that's just a fan theory. It's yet to be proven or disproven. But some things that aren't fan theories are these hero comments. We're gonna slide into the S rank comment section to get into what the community believed about the chapter, man. First, we're gonna start up in the poll questions. The questions that we asked for this week were Child Emperor versus Metal Knight. Who do you like most? I think we already answered that, didn't we?
Yeah.
Yeah.
But, yeah.
Alright. Who has the best tech in the series so far? Genos,
Great
Metal.
answer.
I think we answered
Yeah,
that too.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Chris-
that was,
I think you're going back.
Real quick, real quick. Over.
Yeah.
Do they have tech over Boros? Does Boros have better tech than those guys, or what?
What tech? His ship?
Yeah.
Well, Boros' ship, if you want to count that as tech, it's the most impressive feat of technology so far in the series.
Very much so.
And Metal Knight is only as good as he is because he took it.
Yep.
So if it wasn't any good, he wouldn't want it.
And that's another example. That's of scientists and individuals recreating stuff or recreating technology from others' fallen technology. And I actually did like it when they said that Metal Knight took that stuff and recreated Z City with the debris left from the spaceship. I thought that was pretty interesting.
Yeah, we already addressed the next one too. Who has a better design, G5 or G4? And then we already addressed, the final question was who's going to take advantage of the data found by Child Emperor? So
We kind of covered that one as well.
yeah.
Damn.
All right.
Grim, did you
We're kinda
subconsciously
slipping.
ask
Sorry,
those
audience.
questions?
Yeah, I think you kind of jumped the gun on this one, Grimm. It's okay.
We're good,
It
bro.
was fun.
At least you got this shit. Yeah. Okay, so
What are the people in general saying about it? Is it the same as us or is it different?
well, Leia, let's head to the polls then. Actually, yeah, because that'll probably like sway what we're thinking. Child Emperor versus Metal Knight. Who do you like most? What do you guys think? Who chose what? Who do you think is the one?
I'm thinking people probably said Child Emperor.
So I feel like some people probably say Metal Knight because they're meatheads and I see guns.
Well, you're not wrong.
Metal Knight.
Metal Knight. Metal Knight.
What is the question again?
Child Emperor or Metal Knight? Who do you like most?
Oh, okay. I thought you said who could beat who.
I was gonna do that, but
It's probably one of the, but it was the polls. And again, like I could already see it. People would definitely pick Mel Knight over Child Emperor, probably only because of the child's appearance, but it is what it is.
And
Well,
also, he's got the most potential because he's still got room to grow, seeing as he is an actual child.
Yeah, literally.
well, whoever said Metal Knight is dead wrong. The people say that Child Emperor is more likable for about 54%.
Yeah, buddy.
I certainly hope so, because Metal Knight, I mean, as far as the manga has gone, he's been set up to be a very unlikable character, in my opinion.
Really, I fuck with him, dog. That's my nigga. Show up when you want. Get the job done. Pull out.
I like almost every single character in this series, but Metal Knight, he just rubs me the wrong way.
I just don't like lazy heroes that get to, reap the benefits of being a hero without really doing anything at all. Like, that's really it. Like, Metal Knight, Blast, like, hey, don't get me wrong, Metal Knight does more work than Blast, or at least has been shown to. But it's like, let's be honest now, guy, like, you're really uncooperative and you're not listening to a single thing we're doing. We're trying to, like, we have a mission to go take out some monsters, and you went ahead, got your main body destroyed. Why don't you help out with, like, the cause? Like, that'd be nice. Nah, I'm all set. Like, that's, like, that there alone is the reason why I don't like Metal Knight, because it's like he won't help out a single person.
The Hero Association's building would have been fucked if it wasn't for Metal Knight. Put that shit up, dog.
Exactly. And that's the reason. Yeah, and that's the reason why that he's still tolerated and allowed. Because
tolerated,
again, even though,
because he works, because what he does it great. So you tolerate him.
Exactly.
Fuck out of here, bro. You accept his imperfections too. Look at Sweet Mask, bro. Sweet Mask is a publicity stunt out there, fucking flashing his fucking sweet ass and shit, getting publicizing shit about the association and shit. Who needs that? As a hero, who needs that?
Who needs that? The heroes themselves. Like, think about it. Who pays the bills? The people. Duh. Actually, no. I believe the Hero Association is privately funded, isn't it?
Yeah, but they get donations and shit, I believe. That's how
okay, there you go. And guess what? Those donations come willing.
Also,
they come willingly.
It's
that
the
too.
Money chain.
That too. And of course, they in the face, and Sweet Mask is the face.
Fucking.
But again, like Metal Knight. Here's the thing: if the Hero Association building had even cracked a little bit, they'd probably be like, "Dude, your building design sucks ass." But
what?
No, it's fine. Yeah.
You know what, Zarso, we're gonna move on because your credit list is fucked up.
How am I credit?
An alien came, blew the city to shit, and the building didn't move. And you're saying if there was a crack in the building, they should have fired fucking Metal Knight? What?
Excuse me? I wanted the strongest building possible, and this thing is about to crack and break down on me because of what? Your faulty design? Yeah, get out of here, guy. You're trash.
But city level attack. That's crazy. Isn't that technically right? A city level attack. That was what it was stood.
Yeah, and Metal Knight. Yeah, and guess what? The building wasn't destroyed at all. So good looks on Metal Knight, and he made it a bigger city that was even more durable than the last one. Again, good looks on Metal Knight. But guess what?
Really, a city anymore.
Yeah, it's more like a base.
Yeah, I was looking at that and I found out to be like, so it was an entire civilization population there, and then instead of
where the hell did they all go?
Yeah,
dead. They all got dead.
Did they make housing for them inside the association, or like?
Any survivors were probably split up amongst the other. Well, what would be 24 cities?
Because I know
one's going to Z.
I know that like I believe the renovation made room for like heroes up to class C or something like that, or B, to live with the association now. Correct me if I'm wrong. Okay, so I would assume that because it's a much larger setup now, that like they probably just brought in all the people and shit. I don't know. Either way. Let's get to the last one of the last polls. It says, who is a better design, G5 or G4? Who do you guys think won?
I hope G5.
G4. You're wrong. G4.
52.9%.
Oh my god, because G4 did he have that kind of like Enoru thing behind him, that circle. Like Eno from One Piece.
Yep. Fucking feathers and shit, big as fuck, bulky. Pulled out a
Yeah, that
badass
was
blade.
No, that was there's actually another monster that has the Enel lightning thing. It's like that
it's one
geisha
of the
monster.
ones. Yeah.
Yeah.
But I think G4 had something similar as well.
Yeah. It was a similar design. But I guess that's what
I get the feeling that G5 isn't in like his final form yet, so maybe we'll have to come back to that.
Does he really form underneath? I mean, like, fair enough, G4 did, but I mean, I don't know about G5. I don't know, like,
once
I don't know
he
if
gets
has
down
like
to where his core is gonna self-destruct, he fucking takes off the samurai armor. It flies up in the air, and then like fucking 4 pieces connect to it out of nowhere and shit. And then he flies up, and then Megazord, dog.
Megazord. Like, you want to go smaller, but for some reason you're going bigger. Like, what's wrong with you? You know that a Megazord would have destroyed that entire base. Right?
Fucking
like
Megazord,
so that Megazord would have dropped the base, and the entire thing.
Look where Orochi was, bro. Orochi didn't just stand there attacking Goro. He moved around a little bit. There's got to be another
Fair enough. Like size perspective is very important in some of these series because Orochi's actually goddamn huge. Like Orochi is actually like probably the size of a legitimate Megazord, and like the base is bigger than him.
Yeah,
that's crazy.
So
yeah, they had to build the base around him because I don't think he can really leave that room.
Oh no, he can. They just don't want him to do it because that's bad. It's like,
we
Orochi's
cage
gonna
the
leave.
beast.
Yeah, I'm really
We just
curious
tell him
how
it's
Orochi
Sperm.
got down there. I guess that is a plausible theory. It was made around him.
It can't be that he just stays in one room too. Like that's kind of like.
I don't know. He's never left that room.
He isn't.
The only time we see him outside of it is in a flashback when he bodies Koketsu.
Yeah,
and that was before what he is now. So, yeah, I'm still going around that it's like a cage. Maybe Gero is like pacifying him through telepathy or something to kind of keep him calm so that he doesn't wreck the place.
I don't know if it was a translation issue, but like when we first saw them talk, wasn't it like Orochi that was like asking something of Gero, like ordering for something from him?
That's what you mean, like in the beginning when Orochi first starts speaking?
Yeah.
Yeah, they make it seem like Orochi is running things at first, and then in chapter 91 or 90 or something, it's revealed that Gero is actually the ringleader.
Oh, I gotta read it again to get the context of it because I don't understand why the switch was made.
Because Orochi speaks from like an authoritative standpoint for the most part. He's like, "Where's this? Why isn't this happen? Let's do that." Exactly. Then after that point, when it is revealed that Gero made Orochi, it kind of changes the dynamic between them.
Well, then that almost kind of helps that little idea I had that maybe he's feeding the thoughts into his mind.
I'm very curious as to how he is keeping Orochi under control, because Orochi doesn't seem like, the one that's very obedient, especially to Gero, who I'm just going to say that he could probably smash easily.
One finger. Bam.
Yeah.
Okay, octopus head man, what you gonna do? Oh, you're an octopus head too, you freaking snake monster. Yeah.
I really don't know what to think of Orochi, only because he really does act very feral, and like you'd expect him to have some kind of intelligence, but he actually doesn't. He probably does, but he doesn't seem like he is much of a talker.
He can understand things and retort. That's pretty much it. Like when Garo is like shit talking him in chapter 92, like for the most part he's not reacting to it until like the very end when he starts not turning the tables, but when he starts getting serious on Garo, he's like, "Isn't this the terror that you were looking for?" or something along those lines. Like he says like a nice quip, so he's somewhat cogent in his thoughts.
He was also like really beastly and weird because like cockroach guy was weak. It's like, do I smell a loser in here? Like what?
I love that. I love that chapter so much.
Like that was crazy. Like that was something else.
Because it's directly after Black Sperm is like disrespecting him, and then Orochi just kind of changes the conversation He's like, isn't there a loser here or something?
He's like, who lives defeated in here?
Yeah, that's exactly what he says. Like, bro, why didn't you just address what Black Sperm said? What are you doing?
I guess he just wants to, like, I don't know. I guess Black Sperm confirmed stronger than Orochi. Is that what I'm hearing?
I'm fine.
Maybe. I'm gonna say no, but maybe.
Maybe.
He's a midget dressed in spandex. He gotta be stronger than Orochi, man.
And his name is Black Sperm, so I can only imagine. Like exactly how he became said monster. Like, I really can only imagine.
Yo,
Maybe
stop.
he
If
was a.
Orochi isn't the strongest, I'd be upset about it.
Well, let's be honest now, right? So most of the monsters are just mysterious beings. A mysterious being literally has to have some kind of obsession with something and then transforms. And then depending on how obsessed they were, like, they get their level. So what exactly was Black Sperm so obsessed with at one point in his life that he became a
He
Black
was a
Sperm?
sex ed teacher.
I really hope we get a backstory on him.
Personally, I'm kind of like, I'm reluctant. I'm really reluctant to get one.
He was
I don't want that backstory. I don't want that backstory.
He was the teddy bear of a
It's gonna be
12-year-old
different
black
kind of
boy
backstory to one where he used
Wow.
to do that. I
who
don't
used to
want
wipe
that.
his cum on the
Oh,
Black Sperm doll, and then there was so much cum for so long.
This podcast for sure is getting age restricted.
Then he turned into a real boy.
Wow, turning into a real boy.
I'm still kind of going that he was a sex ed teacher. And he's like, I can't get to these kids, and the frustration just got to him. And then he's like Phoenix Man, because Phoenix Man mentions that he wore the costume
yes.
and then changed the costume.
So what did Black Sperm wear? What were you trying to
He's like, see, kids, this is what the boys will put into the girls.
This is
And
what
it's
a
like, this
jacket
is why
made of
you wear a
sperm looks like.
condom.
And then he gets kicked out of his job because the kids say that he's being really weird and creepy. And then from there, he gets obsessed with the fact that he gets obsessed, wears a costume, never takes it off, and then somehow it starts to stick to him, and then he becomes Black Sperm. That's
Oh,
weird.
wait,
This
so
reminds
you're-
me of that chicken episode from Zim, Invader Zim.
Nah, you guys are missing the point. Black Sperm's a girl.
I'm really hoping. I'd be more inclined to fight Black Sperm at that point. Then it's like, okay, at least I know you're a female. You just did some really weird stuff. Like you're like a guy is Black Sperm. Yeah, I'm out here, bro.
Bukkake.
That's just something else.
She had so many bukkakis. Black.
That's what I'm saying. That's what I'm saying. At least I know. Like, now I know why your face is so pale.
Oh shit! All right. Oh, well, aside from the bukkakis, the community had a little bit different opinions. For the question, Child Knight versus Metal Knight, Pug says Child Emperor, and he also says Metal Knight for who has the best tech. He says that G4 looks better than G5, and that the Hero Association will most likely take advantage of the information that we got from Metal Knight, which we already did, but let's see what else comes from that. Faye says Metal Knight for the first one out of Child Emperor and Metal Knight. He thinks that Metal Knight has the best tech in the series so far. He says he likes both, but I guess I slightly prefer G5's design. And then he replies, not too sure, perhaps the Hero Association. So just put context to the question, guys. These guys are saying that the Hero Association is probably going to be the only ones who benefit from the Meta Knight information. Or, in contrast, that there's going to be either the Monster Association or, now how we discussed, the organization could have possibly already gotten to the information. So that's the context of the question is.
Okay.
Niotic says that Child Emperor is better than Metal, that Metal Knight has the best tech in the series, that G5 looks the best, and that the Monster Association will take advantage for it. I personally think of that too. Obviously, as we already pointed out about the G5 stuff, so let's see how that turns out. Bardock says that Meta Knight is better. So far, I have to say the new Genos, but I wouldn't be surprised if Drive Knight is superior. Wow. But Bardock be smoking more than some of us, dog.
Mm-hmm.
Is it like... Do you think he's talking about the possible armor, or like does his design just look that badass that he can fucking fight for 5 seconds max power? Is that so much to like pay attention to, or is it overhyped, guys?
10 seconds.
10 seconds. 10 seconds.
Well, you really have to put into perspective exactly what can you really do in those 10 seconds. Because I mean, we've seen Genos really get dirty in the mix. Like he's gotten down and dirty with like gigantic monsters, like with anyone really. So he give him 10 seconds and let him go off him and let him go off. I can only imagine what kind of damage he can really cause. Granted, that's cool, but
10
like
seconds and he produces a black sperm.
Well,
I'm thinking
Matt,
the 10 seconds are going to be like him going Super Saiyan.
yeah, probably.
So the blonde hair is going to get blonder, huh?
And it's going to go up.
I mean, isn't it already
And
up in the
grow
first
10
place?
inches.
Oh, jeez. And he'll lose his eyebrows.
Matt Suzuki, do you guys think that the Genos Recent upgrade is overhyped, or is it actually going to be Drive Knight level or above?
It should be. I mean, I'm tired of seeing Genos get his ass kicked. He needs a W like really bad. So hopefully, but you know, I'm just reserve my thoughts for that. I mean, I don't really think so. I think it is overhyped a little bit, but it should be somewhere near that level.
Yeah, I think. Well, didn't Dr. Kusano say this armor's unbalanced that he's got now, and it's more than anything, it's all about attack power.
That's
So
exactly what he said.
Yeah, so we need to see what it does at a base form, because Genos' full power attacks before weren't anything to laugh at. Like, sure, he keeps losing, but at the same time, he's had some of the best fights of the series. You saw, like, he didn't beat Elder Centipede, but that massive blast he did to him at the end. If this can surpass that, and he's got a max power which is full on, like, it's going to be that. I don't want to even think about how many times stronger that should be, but I'm just a bit concerned because I think he's going to be amazing. I think he's going to end up losing still because he'll be against an opponent that he can't win. So, like, if he used it against someone like Overgrown Rover, who's got, like, crazy defense.
And then as for the final question, Bardock replies, maybe none of them. Instead, I say the organization. Oh, so this nigga's ahead of the game, bro. All right, Bardock. Drift replies, I like Child Emperor more, but better personality and better abilities. He says a Drive Knight because of his tactical transformations, as we all agreed. G5 Robot Samurais are badass. You already know. Do we have a lot of media with Robot Samurais?
Samurai Jack had those like basket robots, and one of them had a sword.
Gundam?
Yes.
Oh, damn. Yeah, never. Damn, it's everywhere. Okay. And then he says, 4. Most likely the organization. I don't see how the Monster or Hero Association would find it. Hashtag King Engine. The hashtag. Then Mada, check out Mada, the 28's channel. He does a lot of One Piece content. He does the One Piece discussions with us on here as well too, so check that out. He says that for the first one, Child Emperor, because of his personality, he thinks that Genos, only because I've seen his full suit multiple times, I guess. Sweet, yeah. But has it been? Let me stop harping on Genos. He says G5 easily. You know, you already know Robot Samurais and the Hero Association. And then let's drop down to our other hero comments.
Okay, so this is from One Punch Fan 8. Number 1, he thinks Metal Knight is cooler. For the second question, he says Metal Knight probably because he has the most resources and he might have a few high quality drones that are stronger than the normal ones he uses. Then for the third question, he says G5, and I think that's the question of who looks cooler, I believe.
Mm-hmm.
And number 4, IDK.
Is it crazy to assume, like, because they did say that, like, once Metal Knight got bust when he sent the drone down there, but, like, should he have more drones, bro, that do different shit, special shit? or like is that just crazy? Was that his best drone?
Hell no.
I'm not sure. Like I feel like he's going to upgrade, but I mean, I don't understand why he wouldn't use his best when he got his ass whooped. So, um, you know, they're always going to upgrade, but I would think that he would use his best before getting his ass whooped. So,
That's what I'm saying. Like, why send if you know that this is gonna be trouble? You're gonna rescue a kid issue too. Why send a basic drone or a standard drone? But then I'm asking, like,
yeah,
it with this guy is a speculation. It seems that he's implying that like Metal Knight has like specialized drones that are very very powerful because he says normal ones. So like, is that plausible that he has a specialized rescue drone, or like, is the drone that we just saw a rescue drone, or what's up?
It looked pretty much like the ones we've seen in the past.
Exactly.
Yeah, they're just
So-
called Metal Knight or the Knight. I think what One Punch Man fan 8, shout out to him. He's really prevalent on the subreddit. I think he's onto something because the popular opinion is that Metal Knight is like what's the word I can use here? Stingy for the most part. So he's stingy with everything that we've seen so far. So I think it kind of lines up with his character not wanting to use his good stuff. You know, he's like that the person that you play with in a game in your party, and they're just holding on to like 50 elixirs, stuff like that, just never using it because they just want to hold on to it. And then it winds up getting to the end of the game and they never used it because they were so stingy with it. I'm thinking we're getting like a similar thing with Metal Knight here. For all we know, he has like a base full of like dragon level robots that he's just waiting to use, but he doesn't care enough to use them because it's not fitting his own agenda.
It'd be interesting to see if he gets his comeuppance, like if he actually is found and killed in his own base, and then the Hero Association like starts doing an investigation about what he had on hand, and then they're like, "Okay, Child Emperor, you take over the lab."
Oh man, that would be cool.
It's like you'll make better use of it. We know where you stand.
That's only if the organization doesn't like strip everything down in said base, because we don't know if they're the ones who would kill him anyway.
Yeah, but who else would make better use of the tech?
I mean,
Bat.
Metal Bat, yeah. Just come in, smash everything. Like, all right, good.
That's the cleanup crew, huh?
Yeah.
All
See,
right.
that's also assuming that Child Emperor doesn't kind of reach the same mental kind of conclusion that Metal Knight seems to have reached about the hero organization and their worth in his life and his worth in their kind of structure.
I would say to an extent, yes, only because Child Emperor is still a child at the end of the day. He's still somewhat he's still somewhat innocent to an extent. Like, he's aware of adult things, but he's still a child. That's the only thing. Like he has the knowledge of an adult, but he is still a child, so he's still growing the hell up. There's a lot of things he hasn't experienced yet. And Metal Knight himself is just a stingy old man who's seen enough of life to basically, make his own assumptions on what he wants to do. So that's their only real difference. Because whenever they do talk and everything, Child Emperor is really just like normally begging the guy to like give him answers or give him or just talk to him for a little bit. It's like, yeah, I'll entertain you for a little bit.
It's unconsidered trifles. Okay. So for number one, he chose Child Emperor. And he said that he's all around a better person so far, so he's gone by character. Number two, he said it was a tough one. His availability bias is speaking here, but he goes with Child Emperor again for a mixture of creativity, portability, and practicality. He goes, for now, it's the best bang for the buck. It is subject to change. So I think that was a question on whose technology do you prefer in terms of between Genos, Metal Knight,
More bang
and
for your
Child
buck.
Emperor.
Availability,
Yeah.
portability, and practice. That's definitely.
Nah, this is what this guy said.
Nah, I'm saying like it makes sense. Like those, yeah, that's a valid reasoning. It's just like because Genos
I can
has.
see the
Huh?
Nah, go ahead.
I would say Genos has similar, packages in those or high ratings in those categories. He's no one will say creative, but he's very portable because it's himself, and it's very practical. Though he has cannons in his hands and shit. You know, he rockets in his feet and shit. You know?
I would only disagree with that, Grimm, only because of one thing. Child Emperor, he can act like you could actually like. Here's the thing: if you put that backpack on, there's a chance you could use his stuff. You can't use Metal Knight stuff because you're not a cyborg or an android. You can't use General stuff because you're not a cyborg at all. You can't use Metal Knight stuff because that's not anything you can put on. But you can actually use Child Emperor stuff.
All right. So now, did you want to finish?
All right. For number 3, he said G5. Yeah, I think I'd agree with G5, to be honest. Robot samurais, you can't beat them. For number 4, he said if Child Emperor can come back with the data, then the Hero Association is the one that will benefit. And if he loses it because his backpack is destroyed or something like that, let's hope that G5 doesn't make it back to the organization. All right.
Smart.
Yeah, that makes sense.
I'll go. Hisashi Gojira said, Child Emperor is much better than a drone. Boros, Metal Knight's tech improved greatly after getting his hands on Boros' tech. G5, duh. And then the organization. So, has Metal Knight's tech really greatly improved after getting his hands on Boros' tech?
I wouldn't say so.
I mean,
He's done well with what he's got.
really?
Possibly we haven't really seen what it can do, though.
Yeah, that's what I mean.
Most he did was reinforce the infrastructure of a city, and that's all he did with Boros' tech. Really, like everything else, kind of seems like it's been standard.
Yeah, he couldn't damage Elder Centipede.
Nope.
He got bodied by Orochi. Yeah, I don't know.
I mean, you know, not to point out, you know, the biasness in Zhoniin's voice, but it, just like Matt said, it's not like the character was able to like actually display what he's gained since that point. I definitely agree that like it has been lackluster since the first time that we saw him fail against the Comet to like other consequential points after that. He hasn't necessarily come out on top, but I've always seen it as like the firepower of the association. Like whenever there's a quick issue that you got to take care of, if you can't get one of the other like, you know, martial heroes that use like a set weapon or like their fist or whatever to save the day, Metal Knight will come blow up the shit. That's all it really is. Escalation level, Code Red, fucking Metal Knight. Can fucking handle this shit. But that's just me. That's just me. I don't necessarily agree that it's increased that much because of the tech that you said, but haters gotta hate.
Just like you, huh, Grimm?
Did we ever talk about how trash Phoenix Man was?
We haven't, but let's get through these comments because I'm gonna do the next one, and then we can get into we can finish this up, and hurry up and get into how trash this Phoenix really is.
Yeah, right.
All right, so the next one is from oh god, I can't even read.
It's Base Neptune.
There we go, Base Neptune. All right, shoutouts to Base Neptune. Don't know who you are, but shoutouts. Yeah, one hard to say. They both hardly have done a thing to make a huge impact for me, but I'm leaning towards Metal Knight as of recently. The mystery that surrounds him and his attitude about the confrontation is appealing to me. Not that I 100% agree with him, but I can get behind it if what he says isn't totally to save his own ass. And I believe this is I believe this is the who do you prefer, either Child Emperor or Metal Knight. This is kind of interesting, actually. Let's see. 2, Genos with the way he's progressing, or Kusuno is progressing. I should say, he'll probably overtake the tech-savvy S-Class in the near future. Child Emperor and Metal Knight haven't been pushed enough like Geno has, which I feel is a big factor in gaining strength in One Punch Man. Okay, that's also reasonable. 3, a Robot Samurai is just really cool to look at. This guy knows. And 4, King. Thanks. Fucking thanks. Thanks.
Makes sense.
Yeah, all of it. Base Neptune, guys. Base Neptune. Shout outs.
So Crux Minor or Crew Minor.
Yeah.
He says Metal Knight, Child Emperor, for all the good he's done, is still an arrogant brat, and Sky High Intelligence doesn't do jack to address that. He still is a ticking time bomb, I guess, but he's actually trying to help though. Like Boro, number 2, he said Boro is followed by Metal Knight. 3, G4, and 4, he said, who knows? It wouldn't be surprised if Child Emperor just keeps it and turns into a paranoid little version of Metal Knight. Only more inept. Note that Metal Knight wasn't paranoid about the strength of Monster Association. He was 100% right, and everyone else was wrong. Pills before swine and all that. No wonder he has trust issues. Okay.
Wow.
Pearls before swine. Is that an English expression?
I don't know what that means.
I've heard it before,
yeah.
but
Yeah.
rarely.
It means like it means it's wasted. Like, you know, his attitude's wasted. So like if you literally put like pearls before swine, which are pigs, like they wouldn't appreciate it like someone else. Like a human would. That kind of thing is what it means.
Damn. Damn, I feel assaulted now. Goddamn, that's crazy.
I'm about to say that in just everyday life now.
Yeah, pros before swine, I guess.
You're all pearls before swine.
Oh.
I'm English and I don't know anyone who says that. So if you want to start trending it, you can do. But
Oh shit.
Okay. Hakase Ludite says currently Metal Knight as he is a bit of a dark horse and Child Emperor is young, but the potential is Child Emperor is greater. I believe that. He's still got a lot of room to grow. Number 2, if you mean by most advanced tech, it wouldn't have to be Boros, maybe. Yeah, space. but exclude him, and I would say Child Emperor or Drive Knight.
Why are people not like? He destroyed a whole. He arrived and took out a city, bro. Like that's how you come in as a villain. Fuck the monologue shit. Fuck the slow entrance shit. Fuck the like methodical climate power shit. Like come in the spaceship, blow the city to hell, dog. Fuck it.
Not
He didn't
everyone.
even blow it to pieces.
Yeah, he just fucking bombarded it with shells.
I mean, like, some of it was destroyed, but then when Tatsumaki came in, she kind of negated a lot of that. And then a lot of the damage was done when it just crash landed. So
Nah,
that wasn't directly him.
You boys are high though. I got the panels in the art gallery to prove that the city was leveled, completely leveled as far as the eye could see. Nothing there.
But anyway, continuing on,
Good
before
job.
we derail any further.
Yeah.
3 is G5. Yeah. We love our robot samurais here. And 4 is the Hero Association. Yeah, it's one of them. I still think it's probably going to be some unknown force. And then at King Engine. Alrighty.
Hey. All right, man. We'll check out 1 or 2 more comments before we head out. Remember to check out everybody's channels, guys. All these guys have a bunch of great ass content, whether it's One Punch Man, Hunter x Hunter, My Hero, One Piece, shit like that. Stay tuned. But anything generated for fun, one of the usuals. He says, Dr. Bofoy, aka Metal Knight, he is one of the most logical thinking persons in One Punch Man universe I have seen so far. All right, so that's why he picks him over. Boros, his gigantic alien ship, already told every. I literally just said that shit. I'm a fucking nigga, nah. Anything generated for fun? S rank motherfucking comment, bro. That's S rank comment on the fucking. You got it, bro. You got it. G4, the huge one though, not the small one. Damn, he went back to it.
He likes them big, huh?
Yeah, he likes them big, yeah. And then the 4th answer is the organization. They're mysterious as fuck, and always comes up about collecting data. Can't wait for the future arc about the organization. My guess it will probably be connected to Geno's Stark Pass. Amazing, man. Literally what we talked about today. Great S rank comment. Seriously, S rank comment. You did your shit today, man. And then the final comment is by Coffee Latte Rider. He says, Child Emperor is more likable, but Metal Knight intrigues me more. And I'm going to show Child Emperor. His Drive Knight has some sort of organic tech, which in simple terms looks badass. G5, and then could go either way, but I'll say the Hero Association.
Phoenix Man is trash.
Phoenix Man's the best.
Black sperm better be a girl.
Child abuse isn't a joke.
Child abuse isn't a joke. That's great. Okay, damn.
This motherfucker put that on his description too.
I mean, like in the '90s, that shit was cool. That all happened, and brain damage, all that good stuff. But
Yeah, look at Bart.
Child
Maybe
abuse
that's
isn't
why
a
he
joke.
doesn't age. Oh, because of all the why you little.
I'm not sure if that's how child abuse works.
Don't forget to beat your kids because you don't want them.
All right, we're out of here.
Oh.
We're out of here.
Bye.
I'm just saying.
Like and subscribe, guys. We'll see you guys in the next session. Chapter update. We were told it comes out, or it's gonna come out around the 18th. Expect around that date, plus or minus 2 or 3 days. It's gonna be a spectacularly hyped chapter. Stay tuned for that shit. Subscribe, guys. Subscribe. We got more shit coming for you guys. Stay tuned.
Beat your kids.
You're a pig, bro. Like
Maybe I am. Maybe I am.
yo.